is waiting to obtain, to pass her assessment. The other waiver that we had obtained was Early Release Wednesday. This is our last year for that waiver because the State Department is saying that we need to make sure that all time is placed for instruction. So they feel like that 1 hour of instruction that needs to go to the students. So if we meet for PLCs, it must be after school now in order to go to PLC. And the district is willing to pay those teachers to stay after school so we can continue that learning because it's very important that we have job embedded professional development for our teachers. There is not enough service and support from our cooperative just because they're stretched really thin. So they're not able to support us and help us the way that we need. So we're trying to build it up ourselves and grow our own teachers and build capacity among our own staff where they're able to support each other. And we know everyone in the school is a leader, whether they think they are or not. We had an additional waiver, which the State Department removed from everyone because we have a waiver where it was called a seat time waiver, where we were allowing our college students to be able to be transported to EACC without being penalized. But because there's no longer a seat time waiver in the state of Arkansas, they can go work jobs, they can go to college, and they don't lose instructional time just as long as they are completing their coursework. We are set. We have been approved to build new schools. We will learn the full funding amount in May 1, 2023. We're trying to do all that we can to make sure that when we go to the voters, it's having to ask for less millage as possible because we know that we have failed millage in the past. So we're going back again, probably in the fall of 2023 because we know we need new facilities. The State Department has since this last school year sent back out inspectors and everything else, and they stand by what they say. You must get new facilities. These facilities cannot be renovated, so we know what position that we are in. So I will be starting little campaigns trying to say, hey, support your local schools. Because without your local schools, we know communities die. So we're really going to be promoting new facilities, passing our village, and also trying to keep money in the citizens' pockets. For the enrollment for Brooklyn School District as of right now is 439. Last year about this time it was 428, so we're up 10 students. State Foundation aid runs a year behind like all funding does. So the funding that we received this year was based on last year's number. So this year's state aid, foundation aid is $1,014,144. That's a deficit of like $110,000. So we're always trying to figure out how do we serve this number of students with this amount of money that we received from last year. We kind of do that through maybe cutting through material and supplies. We want to make sure that we have all the supports and the staff that we need in the buildings working with our students. So we've lost about 75 students in the last 5 years. It seems like it's a lot more, but it's because they leave, they come back. They leave, they come back. So the numbers kind of fluctuate from year to year. Like I said, we're up this year 10. We are receiving $63,418 in declining enrollment. That's probably about $40,000 less than we received last year. Because again, this money is based on last year's numbers. We received $247,302 in the Education Excellence Trust Fund to assist us in paying for an increase in teacher salaries. So the State Department is doing that. It's not enough. Because when you get to a school that's under 500, then it's saying that you need X amount of teachers, X amount of programs, X amount of support staff. It doesn't always come, it doesn't meet our needs. The funding matrix does not meet our needs, does not meet the needs of the students that we serve. So yeah, technically on paper, we are overstaffed, but the staff that we have is what we need to meet our needs. And so we're constantly trying to figure out ways to be able to, get around the funding matrix and still. And I do that by placing a lot of staff on, our Title I, funds, which is legal, as well as our ESA fund. And so just maximizing those dollars, in order for us not to be able to put so much burden on our, operation fund. Now, what we cannot do is put required positions. We know teachers are required. I cannot put a teacher over here on Title I. Technology director is a required position. I cannot put the technology director over on Title I fund. So Title I funding is above and beyond. So it's actually for supplementing what we're already doing. Our projected tax collection from our state aid notice is $2,014,306.60. Last year, the final what was collected was $1,932,085.88. Now, they'll give you the final, they'll give you the preliminary. The $2 million that I just gave you now was preliminary. By the end of the year, that could very well change. So, that goes up and down as well. So just like our federal dollars go up and down as well. This year, due to the availability and usage of our ESSER funds, we had to move $710,000 from our operating fund into our building fund, because you can only carry over so much money. That won't always be that way, simply because we have been able to use ESSER funds to do, things like building renovations, and also hiring additional staff and support staff in the kitchen for custodial, different things like that. So we just know that this won't always be, and this money can always be moved back to operating fund if we need it. So that concludes my report. Next up is assessment, Mrs. Smith.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'd like to first begin by stating the different assessments that we have for the 2022-23 academic school year. And the first one is Renaissance. We take Renaissance in grades K2 and then grades 3 through 8. And we do in Renaissance, it's called STAR Early Literacy, STAR Reading, and STAR Math. We do these assessments 3 times a year. We have a fall assessment, we have winter assessment, and we have spring assessment. And what we're looking for in those assessments, when we take those assessments, we're looking specifically, we want our students to score in the ready category, the target category, but a large part of that is we like to look at the growth model. That is really focused a lot on the growth. We take progress monitoring throughout the year for this assessment, but we're looking largely at the growth model between those 3 assessment windows. Then we have the ACT. This is for 11th grade only. And here in the Brinkley School District, we take the paper assessment, and so that will be scheduled for February the 28th, 2023. And then we have, that's test 1 to 1, what we have chosen, but we would choose. And then test 1 to 3 will be the makeup for the paper. That will be April the 11th, 2023. That will be our makeup day and that's for a standard and accommodating, for accommodation students. Then we have assessment. We began this assessment last year. It's called the Work Keys, and it's for grades 10 through 12th grade. Now, what we're currently on a model to do is to test our 12th grade, but we'll see how the spring goes, but we wanna be like a year up. I'm kinda looking at it, and I get with, Dr. Poole and the principals on this, because I haven't discussed it, to see if we can assess, make sure all our 12th graders are assessed, and then assess as many 11th graders as possible. So we won't have the pressure of every year with the 12th grade, because the assessment is actually, you can assess 10th through 12th grade. And so what we're trying to do, like I say, last spring was the very first year that we took the assessment, and we can start trying to move that grade level up a year, so, we can actually start, and actually look at grades 10 through 12 for that. The Work Keys has 2 assessment windows. They have the fall and the spring. And what our goal is by the spring year, to have all our 12th graders assessed. Like I said, last year was our first year of doing it, and we met that goal. And we're planning to do that this year. Then we have our ACT Aspire Summative. That is for grades 3 through 10. This is our last year that we will be taking the ACT Aspire, beginning on the next academic school year. The Arkansas will be, the State Department will be developing our own state assessment. And this window is scheduled for April the 17th through May 19th. So we will test during that time. Then we have the ELPA 21 Summative for English learners. That's March the 6th through April 14th. And in these dates, as Dr. Poole said, this will be up there, but feel free to contact me on any time. And then we have the Dynamic Learning Map, what we call the DLM for short. And students are assessed in English, language arts, math, and science. They do English, language arts, and math for the fall assessment window. And then they incorporate the science for the spring assessment window. And that fall window, we have until December the 16th to complete that. And then we have a spring window that begins in February and it goes until May 19th. Give you a little data results. And the reason I say a little is summative. You all are welcome anytime to contact me at the school to get any data information that you may wish for. I begin with the ACT. For the briefly, the average grade results are as follows. The ACT composite was a 15.1. I'm not sure if you all have heard, but I've been reading articles and seeing on the national world news that the ACT composite scores are down nationwide since the pandemic. I know you all have been reading articles, seeing the reporting that I have. Our English average was 13.7, reading average was 14.9. The ELA average overall was a 13.8. That's the English and the reading together. The math average was a 15.6. The science average was a 15.4. Then we had our STEM average. And I just made a statement to say the 2021-22 academic school year was still impacted by the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Given the unusual circumstances that we were still facing for instruction and both assessment, results should be interpreted in that context. And like I say, it's not just me saying that about the Brinkley School District, but this is a nationwide report. They're seeing nationwide. Our ACT readiness scores, our students always score the highest in English. We do good in English. 3rd grade, 54. When I say readiness scores, that means the students who scored in the category of ready and exceeded. Those two met. In 3rd grade, we had 54% in English. 6th grade, we had 52%. 8th grade, we had 61%. And math, in 3rd grade, we had 18%. In 6th grade, we had 31%. That was an improvement. And 6th grade in science, we had 32%. That was from 24% the previous year. So that was an improvement. And then our reading scores. Like I say, majority of our students did not score in the readiness category, but that is something that we are continuing to work on. We have incorporated new curricula in both reading and math this year, and we're looking to address those issues. For the results of the Renaissance Assessment, K2 and 3A, the data show that more than 50% of our students needed intervention in both reading and math. Like I said, that was K2 category and the 3A category. Data analysis and collaborative team meetings weekly has provided opportunity for us to identify our focus areas in literacy, math, and science. We have grade level collaborative team meetings where it has been explicitly defined that data should drive instruction throughout the year. Depth of knowledge questions, when we look at our depth of knowledge questions, we're looking at level 3 and level 4 questions. Those are our goals. Performance level descriptors guide our instructional process. We've embedded that. Dr. Fu has even given us additional professional development on that during our Wednesdays when she was talking about the early release PLCs, and we are continuing that conversation weekly during our collaborative team meetings. We do realize that we have work to do. Our staff is ready to do the work that we need to do, and our motto is, let's go team. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, y'all hear me? Okay. So I'm Erin Herbert, if you don't know me, I think everyone does, the parental engagement coordinator. And it used to be parental involvement, but when I was looking up those two words and I saw it on the paper, I really liked the change, because if you're involved in something, it's because you're kind of asked to do so. It's not something you're just uber excited about, but if you're engaged in something and you're truly interested and you want to work for the achievement. And so that's why we want our kids to be engaged in their learning and work towards the goal. And we want parents to be engaged in the school. And so we had the parental engagement plan, and it was developed and approved by our parental engagement district planning committee. And every year the parents are surveyed to determine their needs for them and for their students, for their families as a whole. And we have suggestion boxes at the campuses, and then also when we did the Title I night last week, I had a suggestion box with our display for parents, and I tried to, just in casual conversations, what do you think the school needs? What is your need? What is your family going through? You know, and just because sometimes they just want to be heard. Even if you don't always do what they say, sometimes they just want to have a voice. And parents like to have a voice just like we do and like students do. So we encourage all of our staff to be members of parent-teacher organizations, booster clubs, any other parent groups that can be used to respond to the issues of interested parents. And they're given information regarding the school policies and practices through the handbooks. Current information regarding school performance data is given through the ADE school report cards, and these usually solicit parent input and parent feedback. And so their parents are really encouraged to assist in the to assist in the development of these evaluation procedures. We have funds that are appropriately budgeted for the activities that support parental involvement and engagement, and all members of the district are asked to support in these things as well. One of the major areas we encourage highly is that parents participate in the learning of their own children and their experience in the school activities of their children at ball games, at not just ball games, but parent-teacher conferences, and being involved and calling if you need something, whatever, asking your child how their day was. Just little things that lets your child know that you're engaged, you're involved, you care. And so our district, with the engagement of parents, conducts an annual evaluation of the content and effectiveness of our engagement policy, and it improves the quality of the Title I Part A schools. This evaluation includes identifying barriers to participation by parents while they're not involved or what they need for support, and it shows particular attention to parents who are economically disadvantaged or disabled, have limited English proficiency, limited literacy, any racial or ethnic minority backgrounds. And the findings of these evaluations help design strategies for more effective engagement. And then we're able to revise our policies if necessary from that. At the end of the school year, we have parents complete a Title I survey, and the results from this survey are analyzed and then shared with the administration and with staff, and are used in considering to make reasonable changes in the coming school year. We'll also build the schools and parents' capacity for strong parental engagement in order to ensure effective involvement of parents and to support a partnership among the school, the parents, and the community. And this, in turn, as you know, improves student academic achievement. When parents are involved, when the community is involved, when the kids see somebody care, their achievement goes up as well. That's what we always want. We have literacy and math nights that will be available, and then parent nights also, and I'm in talks with Ms. Washington, and we're working on something for this fall. She's helping me a little bit. And, okay, so then our plans are placed on the district website and in the teacher centers, in the principal's office, the counselor's offices, and they're available at open house and then at parent teacher conferences. Okay, that's all.
Hello everyone, I'm Tina Hallwell. I am the school nurse, high school as well as elementary. I'm also over the Wellness Committee, which is an advisory group concerned with the health and well-being of our students and staff. We formed a district level committee of 20 members, which includes school staff, students, parents, and community members. Our goal is to focus on the policy and common mission of district policies and programs. The committee will identify gaps and locate district and community resources to address them. The School Wellness Committee acts collectively to lead, coordinate, and implement all aspects of the Healthy School program. We had our first meeting on September the 30th. We meet every 9 weeks, with our next meeting tentatively scheduled for December the 16th at 2 p.m. at the senior high school cafeteria. In regards to COVID this year, when our year first began in August, we did have an increase in COVID numbers at that time. We had 14 cases concerning our students and 3 cases with teachers. After the beginning of September, COVID has pretty much disappeared on us, and hopefully it will stay gone. But everybody just make sure that you still take safety measures and be careful when you're out in the public. And we're going to keep our kids healthy and happy this year. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Butler, and I am the Child Nutrition Director / Registered Dietitian / Cook for the district. Our district continues to be part of the National School Breakfast Program, the National School Lunch Program, the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Grant Program, the After School Snack Program, and coming soon is our supper program. There has been a significant increase in participation in our breakfast and lunch programs, mostly in the high school. This increase was noted after we celebrated National School Breakfast Week last March. We took breakfast to where the students were. We also offered several different stations like a smoothie station, and a Belgian waffle station. Several surveys were conducted among the students, as well as a suggestion box was placed in the dining hall and is still there. I also had the privilege to speak to our students on how important breakfast is, and also how their participation helps our school. Okay, if we look at actual numbers, we have approximately 439 students who are eligible for our meal programs. And if we break that down to a one in a high school, approximately 30% are eating breakfast, which is up compared to last year, probably 20%. Also, 70% of them are eating lunch. Elementary, we have 81% eating breakfast and about 90% eating lunch. So my goal is to try to get that even a little higher. Okay, the FFVP program, which is the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program, is a big success here in our district. We were awarded almost $13,000 last year, and I managed to use everything except $27. This program allows us to serve a fresh fruit or vegetable snack to our students who are in kindergarten through 6th grade. And their teachers, of course, in Paris. And we serve during the declared school day. The goal of the program has been realized with our students, and we should be very, very proud. We are increasing the amount of produce that they're eating. They're being introduced to produce that they probably wouldn't be able to get at home, like the pink pineapples and mangoes, blood oranges, passion fruit, star fruit, just to name a few. Also, when we send out the produce, we send out an educational sheet. So it has some fun facts about that produce, as well as some nutritional information, of course. And I have to tell you guys this story. We ran out of the grant money from last school year. I had almost $4,000 left over. And anyway, at the end, you know, I was hoping that I could use it probably by mid-September. But it happened that I was kind of like a week off. I used everything by that 4th week in September. And I had the kids to ask me, Ms. Butler, are we gonna have a snack? And no, they didn't say fruit. They said they called it snack. And that's the purpose of the program, to kind of change their thought as to what is considered a snack. So I was really, really proud. I've even had 2 little 1st graders to offer to give me money. One of them said, Ms. Butler, I have some money in my bank account, and I'll bring it to you tomorrow. And another one said, I have some money in my purse, and I'm gonna bring it so we can have our snacks. So I was really, really impressed with this program. So we should be very proud of our students. Let's see, where am I? This school year, we've been awarded approximately almost $13,000. We have about 50 to 80 students participating in our after-school snack program. The school was not receiving reimbursement for our snacks, but after I got here, I signed us up immediately. So now we're being reimbursed for our snacks. And I also understand that we're going to be starting a new tutoring program. So again, we're going to be providing snacks, and I'm hoping to get our supper program, so it'll give our students a little more food in the evening. Okay. Our district is still part of the Community Eligibility Provision Program, which is known as CEP. This allows all our students to eat and enjoy a delicious, healthy meal at no cost. Parents don't have to worry about completing those meal applications, and the Brinkley staff don't have to worry about processing and certifying and verifying all those applications. I have also applied for severe needs status for our district, and this will allow us to get more money for reimbursement. So I'm looking forward to getting that. We have received what they call supply chain assistant monies twice this year for a total of a little over $26,000, which can be used to purchase minimally processed food. And I'm working on getting a third fund also. So I'll keep you guys posted. I have applied to a new commodity program, which the school will receive $10,500. And we're also participating in the regular commodity program, and we are scheduled to receive $17,000 with this. We are scheduled to have an administrative review. This is done by the Department of Education Child Nutrition Unit. I've already completed an off-site procurement tool and also an administrative off-site tool. So I will let you guys know when they are coming. We have purchased a new dishwasher for the high school and installed a serving line. And we're waiting for that same serving line to be installed here at the elementary kitchen. I was able to attend the ADE Summit for job enhancement and training requirement. And I also do virtual training once a month. In keeping with the federal recommendation, our meals were increased to $2.70 for breakfast and $4.50 for lunch. Our catered meals are now $4.75. Okay, last thing. One big change that has happened with our meal pattern. At one time, we had to serve 100% whole grains to our students. That has changed to 80%. So now the students, for example, if they want, enriched pasta, regular pasta, we're able to serve that to them. Any questions? Thank you.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Shane Comer. I'm the Director of Technology, and this is my technology report. Brinkley School District is a 1-in-1 district for 3rd grade through 12th grade students. All of our students now use Chromebooks. We decided to stop using iPads and change over because of the better designs of the Chromebook and the lower cost. All kindergartners through 2nd grade students use Chromebook as well, but with shared cards. All mobile devices have cards for charging and storage. The devices are used on campus unless the child has been signed up for virtual or if they're in quarantine. We also offer mobile cellular hotspots for students who do not have internet access at home. This allows them to access the internet, online studies, email accounts, Zoom sessions, and Google Classroom. For our yearly technology plan, we are utilizing many different technology tools on campus and off in our elementary, high school, preschool, and after-school classrooms. We have smart televisions and some interactive televisions for students to have a visual and audible tool to see and hear instructional videos in the field of study that they are taught. We utilize Roku streaming apps, Newline interactive tools to provide applications, to access content, to provide support for our children's studies. We work directly with technology teams out of Great Rivers Educational Co-op in West Helena and the Department of Information Systems in Little Rock to ensure that we have reliable internet service, updated content filtering, firewall protection, and access to all software and devices we need daily to function as an educational entity. We have also installed a new backup fiber system from Rear Communications that should go live in the next week or two to give us a fail-safe if our main internet fiber goes down with the co-op and ADE. We maintain license for Microsoft, Google, Cisco Video Insight Surveillance, MonitorCast, Door Access, GoGuardian, Pear Deck, Renaissance Learning, Apogee, eTrish, and Think Central, Edgenuity, Benchmark Education, iReady Learning, and still some more. We keep these licenses up to date and software active at all times. We also updated our VoIP phone system last year to Sky PBX, which in return is saving the district money from using AT&T's expensive services, and I'm sure most of y'all can agree with that. We also purchased more interactive televisions with onboard PCs and device sharing for Special Services Department and the after-school tutoring program. We started using GoGuardian and Pear Deck district-wide. GoGuardian is a teacher management system for our Chromebooks and PCs that allow teachers to keep their students on track. Pear Deck is a web-based educational tool that teachers can use to educate, and main thing is keep their students engaged in daily learning. The GoGuardian software also keeps the Chromebooks protected and content filtered at home. The GoGuardian software, if you would like more information, feel free to contact me anytime. My phone number is 870-734-5116. You can stop by the Federal Programs Building anytime from 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. And you can either ask for me or our technologist, Zealand Jackson. That's all I got. Questions? Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Carol Harvey, the district GT coordinator, and I got the Arkansas definition for gifted and talented. It's gifted and talented are children are those of high potential or ability whose learning characteristics and educational needs require differentiated educational experiences and/or services. The possession of these talents and gifts or the potential for their development will be evidenced through an interaction of above average intellectual ability, task commitment, and/or motivation and creative strengths. The goal of our program is to provide enrichment opportunities for students. The GT students benefit from critical and higher level thinking skills activities, independent research studies, additional computer skills instruction, and assisted with community service activities as needed. And I do welcome you all have some suggestions as far as community service. I've been thinking about this for a while. Things that we could do around some of the larger cities. They're doing things with the hospitals and different things. But we don't have it, so if you all have something, I'll welcome you all. The process for identification. Who can nominate? Teachers, administrators, parents, other students themselves, and even community members. There's a screening. We have to have at least 2 measures, subjective and objective, and student portfolios are used. There's a selection committee. I don't just place the children by myself. There's a committee of about 7 to 8 of us who actually do the placement. It's a blind screening, a blind vote. There are no names on there, so no one knows who the students are. They are assigned numbers, and after they're placed, we put names on those
placement decision. It's an ongoing process, and parent consent must be given before I can pull the students for services. The program options that we have here in Brinkley, in K2, I do whole group enrichment for at least 40 minutes weekly, and I do service those students. In grades 3 through 6, we have a pull-out program, and in their resource room, where I actually teach those students for 180 minutes per week. Grades 7 through 12, they are serviced through honors classes, advanced placement, and/or concurrent classes at EACC. We're not offering pre-AP this year because of the way that they had actually done the changes and different things, but we may look at that a little bit later. We currently have 36 students being serviced in the district in grades 3 through 12. 7 students were placed this year at the elementary level. We have 16 students at the elementary, and we have 20 at the high school. The elementary focus is critical, creative, and effective thinking. The high school honors and AP classes are offered in the core subject areas as mandated by the state. We have the concurrent, as I did say, concurrent classes are offered through EACC. It is our hope to have quiz bowl at high school and elementary level as well this year. The students are participating in the stock market again on this year. We did have success last year with the students actually participating in the stock market simulation. And actually some of the parents, the students actually took the information home with their parents, and they're now invested in the stocks. I did have some students at the high school that were interested in stock market, and I actually did a session with those students as well. I think it was about 5 last year. We got the program approved that's due on October 15th of this year. I've turned that in already. We did that before time. And I'm just waiting on a response from ADE. I'm not sure of an on-site visit this year because the rotation has changed, so I'm not sure about when we will be having an on-site visit. The ADE participation form that's due in November, Ms. Moore and I, we worked on that and we turned that in. I've got, I did a survey with the students. I did K2 students, I did 3-6 students. I did not do any of the high school students, and I did some of the enrichment teachers. And I did get some results, some positive results from those. Some of the teachers said that having GT in their class has increased the critical thinking with the students. It's beneficial to student learning. The students just want really more time, but I had some concerns that they're not really doing a lot of discussing when they go home with their parents. And it is my plan to reach out to the students that were identified while here in the district to see where they are in life now, just to see what's going on with them. That's my plan to do that. And I do welcome and I solicit anybody that's interested and willing to share their area of expertise with the students and to help me form an advisory board that can help lead and guide us and see what plans and things that we can do to change and just make the program better. And I think that's what I have. Thank you.
Good evening.
Evening.
My name is Winnie Wilson. I'm the special education supervisor for the district. At this time, currently we have a staff of 8, which includes all paraprofessionals and the special services secretary. The district currently contracts for services for speech, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. Also, we contract for psychological examiner that provides testing for all the schools. The district's current special education child count is the following. Parkview Elementary is 57, Brinkley High School is 31, makes a total as of today 88 students. And before I sit down, the buzzword for this year for special education is inclusive education. That is the buzzword from ADE. They're saying that this is considered as an awareness year where districts prepare to make changes for students with disabilities, where they're included more in regular settings, where they're not putting special ed classes all day long. You can't do it anymore anyway. But the trend, the setting, the buzzword is inclusive education, and they want districts to start planning how they can assist students and provide for them to be able to be included more in the regular curriculum. Thank you.
Good evening, stakeholders.
Good evening.
As the elementary school counselor, Sydney Partee, I provide monthly character education in my comprehensive school counseling program through classroom guidance lessons. Character education encourages students to learn positive behaviors and mindsets that will help them to become productive and trustworthy citizens. Also, classroom guidance lessons teach students life skills that will be beneficial throughout their lifetime. Secondly, I offer individual and group counseling to students who may need help with social, emotional, and academic problems. It's not my duty to solve their problems, but to help them to brainstorm ideas to help them solve their own problems as they learn and practice techniques that will help them to discover healthy behaviors, thoughts, and study habits. Career awareness activities will be implemented during the school year. Students' career awareness during their early years assists them in understanding that they can choose a career that aligns with their interests, strengths, and talents. I consult and collaborate with teachers and parents to promote a warm school climate and concern for students' full development. Consultation with school staff, mental health professionals, and other professionals is key to ensuring that students are receiving appropriate interventions to support students' success. Also, I consult with wraparound services such as Changes Behavioral Health and Perimeter to address students' needs and access to any available resources that may be offered. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you.
Good evening. The Brinkley High School Counseling Program is continuing to encourage students to discover and succeed in efforts to attain their life goals. Guide for Life has identified 5 guiding principles that support educators, business leaders, communities, and students in their efforts to help students develop critical thinking skills needed to thrive at home, school, on the job, and in the community. The principles are growth, which is to manage self, understanding, to know yourself, interaction, to build relationships, decisions, make responsible choices, and empathy, to be aware of others. By incorporating Guide for Life concepts throughout the school experience, we can help instill these real-world skills for success in all students. The result will lead to well-rounded citizens, stronger communities, and more effective employees. An emphasis will be placed on ACT prep this year. We do have some classes in place this year to help students get a 19 or higher on their ACT score, which will avoid them taking remedial classes when they get to college. Also, scoring a 19 or higher will give them the opportunity to enroll in concurrent credit classes and get a head start on their college career. Juniors and seniors can use 4 vouchers. They changed this. It used to be they could only have 2 vouchers, and now they can have 4 vouchers. The federal pays 4 vouchers to take their ACT free, and then juniors also take the ACT free that's paid for by the state in February, so they get 5 chances to take it for free, or 5 opportunities. And so I encourage them to take advantage of all 5 of those. Also, the more students take the ACT, the more familiar they become with the format, which lessens test anxiety and helps them to focus more on the questions instead of the time. EACC is offering certificates of proficiency to high school students through a grant in the areas of welding, diesel, service technology, industrial equipment technology, medical professions, automotive service technology, and refrigeration, heating, and air. To be considered, students must take the ACT or the AccuPlacer, which gives us an equivalent of an ACT score, and have no discipline issues. Seniors are utilizing the Go and Marry website, which they are matched with scholarships. They go in, fill out a profile, and depending on what their profile is, it will match them with scholarships, and then they have the opportunity to apply for those scholarships. And sometimes they have bundles where you fill out one application and it will send it to 4 or 5 different scholarships at one time. We will have a college and career fair this spring. New this year, we have behavior changes counseling service available for students and families in need of individual or family counseling, and we're excited for them to join us. I will also provide academic, social, and personal counseling services to students in need. Any questions? Thank you.
Good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
All right, so I'm LaTasha Anderson. I am the principal here at CV Party Elementary, for those of you who have not met me before. So I'm going to talk first about our academic plan for improvement. Part of our focus this year at the elementary is on beefing up and ensuring that we have an effective Tier 1 instruction in every classroom, right? So that's the instruction that all the students are getting on a daily basis. If we make sure and improve and have that effective Tier 1 instruction, then we won't have as many students moving into the Tier 2 and Tier 3 instruction. Okay? So we have adopted at the elementary 2 high-quality instructional curricula. Our literacy curriculum is Benchmark Workshop, and it is on the state-approved list. And we have adopted for mathematics, iReady Classrooms, and on Ed Reports, it passed all 3 gateways. And those 3 gateways are Gateway 1, Focus and Coherence, Gateway 2, Rigor and Mathematical Practices, and then Gateway 3, Usability. We've also been providing our teachers with targeted professional development, and it's according to what they need. We also have our collaborative team meetings that are being held on Wednesdays. Those are our early out days. During that time, we are focusing on the 4 critical questions of a PLC, which include what do we want all students to know and be able to do, how will we know if they learn it, how will we respond when some students do not learn it, and how will we extend the learning for students who are already proficient. Our current enrollment on campus is 245, and we do have 1 virtual student. We have several programs that we have going on at the school. First is the 21st Century After School Program. We will also be beginning the Party's Tiger Pride After School Program. We have clubs that we're getting off the ground. We've been doing good behavior incentives for our students. We have a focus on having happy and proud students this year. We want our students to look forward to coming to school. We also had a good ACT Aspire incentive program for our students. So any students that scored ready or exceeding on last year's ACT Aspire test received incentives and rewards for that this year. We will also have accelerated reader incentives, We have began field trips. Our kindergartners went to the zoo last Friday. We have first grade team that's going to the zoo. Our pre-K is going to the pumpkin patch. So we're also trying to have those enrichment pieces for the students. We really do want our students to look forward to coming to school. Thank you so much. I tried to keep it short and sweet.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sashana Hudson. I am filling in for the high school principal, Mr. Clinton Salisbury. Currently, the enrollment at the high school is 195 students. The high school currently has an alternative education program. One student is enrolled in this program for the remainder of the year, and two students are enrolled in the program for the first semester. Annually, the Department of Education normally publishes a school performance grade. However, that grade has not been submitted publicly for our school yet, so we don't know what that grade is. Our academic plan for success includes a tutoring program open to all students for math, English, and making all graduation rates corrections. We have included with our instructional day 40 minutes of structured intervention to focus on remediation to help accelerate and close the student achievement gap. One of our special programs that we are implementing will be the social emotional learning component that would take place each week to support students who may have difficulties that are outside of the regular academic focus. We will do benchmark testing every 9 weeks to assess the readiness of our students to perform well on the state exams. Our mission is to provide the foundation and support to the district by educating students who need a non-traditional learning environment. Through collaboration, guidance, and assessment, the alternative education team works to ensure that students who require a non-traditional education environment shall have the opportunities to learn and recover credits for graduation. We, the staff at the high school, plan on getting on the side of Dr. Poole, and it is our desire to equip and educate all students so that when they leave the Brinkley School District, they will be successful citizens in our community or wherever they decide to go, whether it be to college, do a trade, whatever it is that their hearts desire, we will make sure that they are well equipped and well educated. This is the report for the high school campus under the leadership of Clinton Salisbury.
This concludes our annual report to the public. Does anyone have any questions? If not, we invite you to stay for our regular school board meeting, which is about to start. We are a little bit over, but you know how they go. Also, I want everyone to note as well that we understand that we had people going to the ball game and some people coming here. But the AAA set the ball game night for tonight. That wasn't my decision. We tried to get it on Friday night, but they said it had to be tonight. And so we had already scheduled our annual report to the public as well. This is our regular school board night. So the decision was out of our hands, so we hated that. And that's where Mr. Salisbury is tonight. He's supervising the ball game. So if you don't have any questions, we're going to get ready to start our board meeting.